most like most people, I came here not really knowing what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something in the medical field, but wasn't quite sure. I met with an advisor. I believe he advises for people who are interested in physical therapy, Don Fisher. I don't know if he's still here, but and he kind of pointed me in the direction of what classes I needed to take and where I could go to do some job shadowing and things like that. I'll just go off of the peds since I started there. I did one of my rotations in pediatrics. And so like I said, OTs generally do the fine motor skills, the handwriting, the learning how to tie your shoes, the sensory stuff, playing with Play-Doh and, you know, coloring and stuff like that. And then OTs work, or PTs, excuse me, work more on gross motor skills, so balance and, you know, core strength. And in pediatrics, we did a lot of like rope climbing and jumping into pillows and stuff like that for some more sensory things. We did a lot of pool therapy.
I ended up job shadowing an optometrist and just decided that that seemed like a pretty good fit for me. So looked into it a little bit more and did some experience shadowing as well as working my summer job kind of at the local optometry clinic in my hometown. Got some more experience in that regards.
And so a child life specialist, for those of you who don't know what that is we work with kids and families in a hospital setting, and we provide information. We do teachings with the kids on maybe they're going to have a double leg cast and they've never had a cast in their life. And what is going to go into that casting? Well, there's a buzz saw. That can be really scary for a child to hear a saw right near their legs down there that they're kind of hurting already. You know, so we talk what that might sound like or feel like and things like that. We use dolls as a teaching aid. We also just provide developmentally appropriate activities for kids that are in the hospital. So if you're in the hospital for 6 to 8 weeks rehabbing from a car accident, it's a pretty boring place to be. And we try to make it just as kid-friendly and fun as it can be. Processes that I went through to become a child life specialist. I think I applied to 10 around the country and heard back from 1. And it was in Fargo, and that was with people that I did my volunteering with. And that was really a big key to how I got into an internship. And now, even in my work, I have people all the time saying, well, how do you get to do that? Or I want to be able to do that. Volunteering is a huge part, volunteering at a hospital, and work experience. You know, if you're going to want to go into something, working with kids and families in a hospital, start out by finding a job, in the summers at least, or on the side where you're working with kids or families in a medically, or in a medical situation, something like that. It's just one of my tips for that.
Very often we go straight out of undergrad into graduate. So I'd recommend you want to do volunteer work will help. You know, if you do some volunteer work, getting a nursing assistant certification and working. Shadowing PAs is hard because when you're practicing, it's hard to have a shadow for very long. I mean, I would take shadows, but it's a 4-hour shot and that's it. Because I think that gives you a sense of what I do. And that's as much time as I can commit for how I practice. Plus I have students all the time. So, but if you just need to do something, it doesn't have to be a paid job and you don't have to do it full time. You can do it during your college career, you know, get a part-time job, summers, volunteering. Now, almost all the PA programs in the country are master's level, so you get your undergrad, take sciences, but also take good classes in psychology and communication, because you will need your communication skills a lot if you really want to be, for me anyway, to be a good healthcare provider means that I am able to sit and listen and empathize and learn how to work with people during difficult times. So if you're looking at what classes to take, look at the different programs. Some of the prerequisites are a little bit different from one program to the other. It's quite heavy in sciences, but they also expect you to have some prior healthcare experience. And they like it if you have shadowed a PA, so you really kind of know what the profession's about and what you're getting into. The 3 years that you do PA school are very intense because obviously you're cramming a lot of information. You get about 2,000 hours of clinical experience during those 3 years. Some programs it's a little bit more, but it's a lot of hours. When you do rotations, you're there 40 to 50 hours a week at least, depending on the provider you're working with. They're Monday through Friday or working on Saturdays or whatever it is that you're studying at that time. The rotations include primary care medicine, geriatrics, emergency room medicine, OBGYN, peds if I didn't say that. But it's a pretty broad range. You come out quite well trained. In the United States now, PAs are in every specialty. When we first started out, we were developed to meet the need of a shortage of physicians in underserved areas, rural and inner city. But the profession has shown itself to be well trained. We're generalists, but we can adapt well. And so it's really taken off. It's one of the top 10 fastest growing professions in the US at this time.
While I was in school, especially in the summers, I shadowed different professions and spent a lot of time with a pharmacist that I felt like I really clicked, and I really liked the variety of what pharmacy can do. So, I mean, anything from working at a CVS or a Walgreens to working in a hospital. Currently, I work at the VA hospital in Minneapolis in the oncology department. So, a lot of different avenues that you can take. When I was at St. Ben's, like I said, I did a lot of volunteering. I tried to do a lot of different experiences because I never knew what I would end up liking.
You know, just reaching out to people, doing networking. And I know the Career Center is a great place to check out. They've got handout after handout and getting kind of training on how to do informational interviewing. So if you're not sure if you want to be an OT, a PT, you know, any one of those disciplinaries, you know, do a job shadow. You know, get out there and I think try on a couple of hats if you can, or get in there and volunteer in the hospital. You might find that the sight of blood makes you queasy, and that would be tough to have my job if that were the case. You know, kind of have to be okay with all that side of things.